Show some style. Fight like a man. The blood of a true defender of this land will protect me. Come on, Reed. Try something else. I'll pin you down! If you're so innocent, why does your poisonous bite is useless on me. Freewind prevails! True light will cleanse you! Show some style. Fight like a man. We are the guardian of justice. Freewind shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you?
We always have been, and we always will be. Of all the evils that threaten mankind, your kind are the worst.
I was only reborn for a few minutes before you and your men hunted me down like a beast.
You were only reborn for a few minutes, and you'd already taken the life of an innocent woman.
There is no way you'll ever let me be, McCullum. You'll always hunt me down, won't you?
There is no escape, Leech. Kill me now, for there is no way you can sway me to your ideals.
That's where you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
I'll spare you, McCullum. I'll offer you the mercy you never offered me.
What is this ruse?
This is no ruse, McCullum. This is me letting you go. After all, you and I are both trying to save this poor country, in our own way.
I'll kill you, Reed! Next time we meet, I'll end you!
See? Progress already. You called me by my name. Until the next time. Goodbye, Hunter.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
public domain, young Ekon!
So Priwen never left Doris's theater after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
It's locked. Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence. I cannot enter.
Better go home, sir. You're mine!
Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind. I should find the key to that box. It's locked, all right.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, and internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Jeffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skal epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? You sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession? Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
What can you tell?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Why is the Guard...
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theater. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum?
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
I made a mistake. But what is science if not trial and error? We both know it, Jonathan, we both know it.
What a poor justification for your morbid fascination and thirst for glory.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
No, Edgar, you are not going to die. Unless you want to.
What do you mean?
I can save you, Edgar. I can turn your broken body into one like mine.
You truly would? After all I've done, after all that's been said, you would offer me this gift?
I have no way of knowing which punishment would be worse, Edgar. But it is not for me to decide. So?
Oh, please, Jonathan, please. I beg you. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always searched for.
Very well, then. Prepare to die and be reborn. To face an eternity of guilt.
I'm ready. Oh, indeed, I am ready.
Enough!
Easy does it, boys! He's difficult! Filthy fucking beast!
I have it. I can now open the box.
Don't forget to check every door.
I really don't know if I should read this. So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
This for you, sir.
Stop! Right now! Stay away!
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him. Or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skal epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Ichor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth!
It's locked. Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
Die, leech! Over there! There's one of them burning! Even someone you're close to!
Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed.
Welcome back, my mortal peer. Let me look at you with my piercing new eyes.
Good evening, Aloysius.
Mr. Dawson to you. You may be my maker, and I thank you for that. But we must not forget etiquette.
Forgive me, sir.
You're forgiven, my dear doctor.
How is this?
People keep on getting...
What is this?
Lord Redgrave has just...
What is Lord? The vampire
Bah!
is Lord.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I think I may...
What is this blood?
It's supposedly
What have you done?
that more...
What is your plan?
My
Would it be
I have ordered...
when?
We should gain...
Are you all?
Of course not.
Tell me about it.
Sod off.
I beg your pardon.
You heard me. And remember,
I may need. Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
Welcome, Lance-Bearer. To what do we owe this pleasure?
I've located the true origin of the epidemic, and I'm about to end it.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
This is more important than the club, you or me. This is London's last hope.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
Now go, Lance-Bearer. Craft a legend to be sung to Ascalon recruits for the ages to come.
Why can't I forgive you, Father?
Stupid beast! To the hell and slaughter! You Londoners are no match for me!
The epidemic. Good evening,
I found your notebook. The one the guard of Prewan stole from you.
And you brought it back to me. That's excellent news, Jonathan. Were you able to keep yourself from reading it?
Yes. I give it back.
I can't believe
Then,
it.
my friend, you deserve a little something to reward your fortitude. Please, have this, with my gratitude.
What's in the notebook?
I can't answer you, Jonathan, since you chose not to open it.
Have you any...
The guards told me the old man finally...
Tell me the truth.
By the stole, you really thought you could force Usher Talltree to yield to your little mind tricks like an oblivious mortal?
So, are you or are you not a vampire?
As a brilliant man once said, to be unambiguous can only be to one's own detriment.
Why can't I
I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
Goodbye.
I rarely... Perhaps London will survive the epidemic. I see terrible trial.
Someone you're close to.
Feels like I live an ordinary life.
Without the wet boots keeping things straight, these parts would be running completely amok.
Steady, boys! We've got one of them here! We will crush this beast!
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage.
Even the darkest thoughts in your heart. A giant
blood
lord
and-
is disguised as a hospital.
They
Those
belong
in
to
Pembroke
you.
nowadays, the life running in your veins.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen.
Back in the... does it, boys. I shall fear no evil.
Oh my god!
We are crushed. Die, vermin!
There it is. Insulin. Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu.
When I get back, I'll have a word with Tom. He's really pissed me off this time.
Londoners were all
Support the equality between men and women!
See them fancy clothes? This one's a top!
Fresh water. As long as it's not holy water, I may find some use for it.
This one's mine! The power of the Lord of Mantia! Away with you!
Maybe it's time to see if this steam.
Wet boots will be proud of me.
Easy does it, boys. We can deal with this vermin.
Good evening.
Wise choice.
Done. It's alive. It's alive. And it needs a name. I shall call you Lisa.
Jonathan, my dear, I can never thank you enough.
Thank me? For what?
Come now, you know what I mean. I am... well, I'm just like you.
Have you no shame? Must I remind you of your ludicrous actions? Of the innocent men and women who died at your hands?
Shame is for mortals, Jonathan. I know it now, and you should too. We are something else. Something more.
Have you news of Jeffrey Mc...
He left the hospital without being treated for the severe beating you gave him. We'll meet again soon enough.
Do you not think he will kill you where you stand?
Funny you should mention it. I asked him once what he would do if I were a vampire. He said he would give me an hour for old time's sake.
How do you feel since you changed?
Absolutely fine. Did you know I can determine the health of every patient or nurse just by looking at him? Fascinating.
Have you taken a...
Don't you think that's a private matter? I would not ask you such an indiscreet question.
Do you feel...
Yes. It's very peculiar, not like mortal...
What will you do?
Experiment, my dear colleague. I have an...
My God, Edgar!
I have, I swear. No more experiments on...
What kind of it?
Who knows? Nervous...
Will you continue as Pembroke?
Of course. I can help more than...
Are you not afraid Priwen will...
I remain a man of peace. If things were to go awry, I would...
Have you seen Elizabeth? Has she passed?
No. And I'm terrified to see her again.
Goodbye.